What's up, you guys? What's up? Welcome to, my long form videos or video. I'm trying this new thing because I'm not one of those people that I feel like I'm good at storytelling, but I'm gonna do the best that I can with what I have. And I just hope you guys stick around and be able to, enjoy my content, like, subscribe, and share, and actually comment because I really want to see how many people can actually relate to some of the things I went through and some of the ways I feel on certain topics. Okay, so I think as far as me starting my long form video content, I want to start by telling you, the basis of where I come from. My parents, it ain't gonna be nothing crazy alone, but you know what I'm saying, my parents, my siblings, my kids, and then move on from there. And then I'm gonna tell you about, a lot of the things that I went through as a young girl and learning this crazy world because, you don't get a book, when you're born. And if you don't have solid parents, which I call a solid foundation, you can be out here in this world looking crazy. Okay, so let's start. I was born in North Carolina in 1978. I am the youngest of 17 children. My brothers and sisters, we really don't mess with each other. They're all older. Everybody older than me, that's older than me, I would say. The youngest is like 53. This next to me, the oldest is in his 70s. You know what I'm saying? So I was a baby, and when I came along, and pretty much everybody was grown and gone. All right. My mom and dad. My mom died when I was 3 months old. My dad, he was in the World War I or II. I don't know, because I really, you know what I'm saying, I really don't know much about my family. And I feel like when you are a young girl or young anybody, like anybody should. That's why I feel like it's very important to let your children know about family history, stuff like that. Because growing up, my father forbade us to talk to my mother's side of the family. Like, my mom and my dad, I grew up like on a farm in the country. I'm a country girl. So, and we grew up on a farm, raising our own, livestock, making, eggs, chickens, picking our own eggs and corn and tobacco and all this good stuff. So, when I came along, that's what was going on. But my dad forbade us to talk to my mom's side of the family, which owned, the land across from where we lived. Something happened way before I was born that caused my father to fall out with my mother's side. And I guess my mother decided to rock with my dad. And my dad, I would see my uncle, which is my mother's brother, and we couldn't even speak to him. So I don't know a lot about my history. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what runs in my family. I don't know if it's cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, none of that, because my dad didn't tell me anything. And I'm going to tell you something that's really crazy, because my dad didn't even tell me, when my mother's birthday was. My dad was a third grade dropout, so he couldn't read nor write. So when I came along, like I said, I had brothers and sisters, but they was off doing their own thing, living their own life, raising their own family. So I'm here with this father that is a drunk on top of being illiterate, and he can't, tell me much about anything. And he was one of those people that wasn't loved when he was growing up. So instead of him changing that pattern, he decided to continue that pattern with his children. He was a mean asshole. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Like, but that's the only parent that I ever knew. So that's who I had to rock with. So long story short, I don't know anything really about my mom's side of the family. My dad's side of the family, really don't know nothing about that side of the family, because he didn't tell me much about that side of the family either. So when the doctors are asking me, like, what runs in your family? I don't. It's important when you are born to know where you come from. If you do not know where you come from, it's hard to know where you're going. And all my life, I struggle with that because I don't know anything about anything. And I feel like the sorry ass people that I call family, they really didn't do their part or their due diligence to tell me anything about what I do. They're like where I come from, my mom, my dad, anything. You know what I'm saying? Only thing they told me about my mom and my dad is that they were bus drivers and he was a truck driver, and to follow in their footsteps, because most of my brothers and sisters drive, and that's what I did, because that's what they put in my head. They didn't put anything else in my head. But with all that being said, I just, I'm one of those people that I feel like I come from nothing and I brought myself up to be more than what they thought I would be. Because even though I had my children when I was young, I had my kids when I was, when I started, I was 17. I got pregnant when I was 16, 17, 18. And then I had one when I was like 22 or 21. But with having my kids, I'm one of those people that's big on not asking anybody for anything. I raised all my babies by myself. I never asked, nobody could say I lived on them. Nobody could say they took care of me. They never said, you know what I'm saying? From the time I found out I was pregnant, I went and got it out the mud. My first job was Hardee's, and I worked that job until I had my baby back. Bought all my baby stuff. Never had a baby shower. Never did any of that. You know what I'm saying? So where I come from and what I put up with is very minimal, because I don't do excuses. Listen, it's either you're going to do something or you're not going to do it. You're going to be about it or you're not. All that gray area and making excuses, I don't have any time for excuses, because when it comes to me, nobody made an excuse for me. I had to get out here and get it. I could have said, oh, my daddy won't shit. My mama died when I was young. My brother and sister ain't shit. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this as a crutch. No, I use that as motivation, because even though I had a lot of brothers and sisters, they all had in their mind that I wasn't going to be shit. Now, mind you, they said I wasn't going to be shit because I had. And they just didn't know that my babies were my strength. My babies were my motivation. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing how God could put something in your life to make you want to go hard for you. I didn't even want to go that hard for myself. I wanted to go hard for my kids, because I never wanted my kids to, not have or not understand or know anything. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to always make sure that they had, so with all that being said, like, I'm one of those people that's no nonsense. I'm really cut and dry. It's really black and white with me. There's no gray area. And I don't accept that from other people. Like, I don't accept excuses. I don't accept for the fact that you say, oh, I can't do this because of this or because of that. And then when I see people that have strong, solid foundation, they can tell you who their grandmother was, their mother was, their mother, their grandmother, their grandfather. They could trace their history. They still got 3 generations living, and they always complaining about, you know what I'm saying, what they doing. Their mama's getting on their nerves, their grandma's getting on their nerves. And I'm just like looking at them like, you never understand how blessed you are until you don't have. And I'm one of those people that's never had. I don't have a grandmother. I didn't have a grandmother. I didn't have aunts. I didn't have a mother. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the women that mold you into who you are, I had none of that. So I was out here in this world trying to figure out where I belong. You know what I'm saying? And I realized that I had to make my own way. My whole life, I heard either I was stupid, or I heard that, you're not going to make it. You got them babies, you in the projects, you this. I've never lived in a project, never lived in one project. And I always lived in nice homes, because I felt like, you know what I'm saying, just because I have kids, just because I'm young, you have to twist that. You have to make it better. Just because they say you're going to not be nothing don't mean you're not going to be anything. And that was my mentality. My whole family was against me. My whole family, my own father told me, listen, you have 3 babies. You're not going to find a man that wants you with 3 babies. Don't no man want to raise somebody else's children. You know what I'm saying? You young. Like, basically, I'm damaged goods, And what he said was not my future. Even though it hurt me to my heart to hear that, you know what I'm saying, that he didn't have any belief in me, because nobody believed in his ass. And so, what's crazy is I had 3 kids by one man. And that man turned out to be, and I'm going to tell y'all about him later, but that man turned out to be a waste of time, he was one of those people that let his environment of how he was raised affect him. And I didn't realize how severe it was, because again, I'm out here looking for love as a young girl. I meet this guy, I think I'm in love, I have this baby, and find out that he ain't about shit. And his background was way worse than mine. Didn't know that at the time. But when I seen him slap his mother over a motherfucking coffee table, I should have known. Because they always say, as I learned when I got older, that how a man treats his mother is going to be the way that he treats you. Listen to that, young girls. How he treats his mother is how he going to treat you. So walking around this world blind, trying to find my way, having these babies, and now I don't even just have it hard, because it's not just me. I got these babies, but guess what? I started working. And when I started working, I realized, listen, I worked at Hardee's. That's my first job. And then I looked around at these older women that was in their 30s or in my age now. And I see how they was trying to make it. And they were only making, $7.25 then? I don't even think it was $7.25. It was $6.25 then. And I was thinking to myself, I said, shit, I got 3 kids. And I'm 17, 18 years old, and I got 3 kids, and I can't make it with this little amount of money. I can imagine what they're going through at the age they are. I don't want to be them. Not knocking them, but that was my foundation, or that was my blueprint what not to be. Because I said I have to do something that's better I have to do better for my children. And I said, put in my mind then, like, this is just a stepping stone. You know what I'm saying? I'm young. I have to get out here and figure it out because, again, I had nobody to help me figure it out. There was no mother I could call. When my car broke down, there was no father I could call. When something went wrong with my kids, there was nobody. It was just me. Even if I was with my baby father, he couldn't do nothing for me. He was a mama's boy. So he could always run back to his mama when we got into it. So once I realized, okay, listen, Taylor, it's just you. You know, you and you're pregnant. What you gonna do? I worked every day and I worked overtime and I made sure that I took a little money and I saved for that baby. I saved, I bought crib, I bought diapers, I bought everything. Brothers are still saying like, oh my God, you know, they can criticize you, but they can't help you. And that's fine. I'm not one of these people even to this day to ask for help. If you help me and you turn around and you talk shit or you try to throw that shit up in my face, bro, I'm gonna give you back what you got. You ain't never gotta ask me. And that's one thing I never like. I never like when somebody give you something and talk shit about you. Like, that's not somebody that's giving from your heart. And I feel like if you giving it, don't need it. If you need $10, don't give somebody else $10 so you can, you know, bother the fuck out of them until they give it back. This is me. If I give you ask me for $10 or some money and I give it to you and you don't never give it back, cool, you'll never hear about it again. I'm not gonna hog you for it. I'm not gonna ask you for it. But remember, I remember. So you know you can't get nothing else from me. So if you decide to fix your face or fix your lips to ask me for something else, it's a dub. I'm not giving you shit. That's when I'm going to bring it up. Because at the end of the day, if you say borrow, that's exactly what the fuck it means. Borrow. It's a different when you say give and borrow. Know the difference. When somebody say, can you give me $10 or can I borrow? That means you have to pay that back. So with all that being said, I got it out the paint for my baby. I got out the mud. I got out the mud for my baby. And, you know, it made me stronger. What don't break you make you stronger. And every time I achieved something, it made me stronger. Because when I was with my kid's father, you know, he used to take my car because I wasn't old enough to have the car in my name. He put in that car in his name. And my apartment, I wasn't old enough because he could put me out and I wasn't old enough to sign a lease. So when I hit 18, it was all about me. I got my license. I got my own apartment. All that stuff just made me feel more and more, you know, empowered as a woman, as a young woman. And I'm doing all this at 17, 18, 19. I'm learning the hard. So I say all that to say this. Listen, it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter where you come from because I come from nothing. I really feel like I come from nothing. But I could say I sit here before you today as a 45-year-old female that has raised 4 children. That is raising a grandchild. That is not my child, my biological child that I had. But my son decided he wanted to go out here. He wanted to make a baby and not take care of it. This generation is different than when I was growing up. You know, I would have moved hell and high water for my children. But I say that to sit here in front of you to let you know that can't nobody stop you. Just because they wish bad on you and they wish you know, not to do good or tell you that you ain't gonna be this or tell you ain't gonna be that, don't sit around and listen to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have the last say so. God has the last say so. And I know I sit here right there, not a drug addict, I don't smoke. I drink occasionally socially, but I'm not a drunk. You know what I'm saying? My kids can't never say we moved from pillar to post. We didn't have no lights. We didn't have no water. We always had a car. My kids can say I did my damn thing. Listen, I did it with no guidance, with no help, with nobody to tell me, listen, you should do that. I had to fall and get the F back up on my own. Nobody told me what I should and what I shouldn't do. I had to learn the hard way. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have a lot of time for excuses. So when I hear somebody saying, oh, you got your mama and your dad and you got brothers and aunts and shit that can help you, and you keep hollering like, I can't get it done, then you just a sorry somebody. Your mindset is fucked up. That's just how I feel. I'm one of those people you keep pushing. I'm one of those people I'm not going to beg you for nothing. I'm not going to ask you for nothing. You know, I'm going to go get what I want. If I can't go get it, then I'm not supposed to have it. And if I feel like if I'm on and I'm doing something that can help you, I'm definitely going to try to help you. Now, what you do with the information I give you is up to you. But it's a lot of people in this world that you would think that's in your corner that root for you, that I later found out that don't fucking root for you. It could be somebody that be calling themselves your best friend and wishing on your downfall. You could tell somebody that's a hater when you're doing good, and then all of a sudden you want them to say, hey, you know what I'm saying? You tell them, this is how you point them out. Listen, you point out a hater. You figure out somebody with you or not. Motherfuckers that, you know, you doing good and you want them to rejoice in your happiness. You know, everybody ain't happy for you. Everybody, and I'm gonna tell you, your biggest haters is gonna be probably the people you call friends and family. Them gonna be probably your biggest fucking haters, and they might do it undercover, and you might not even know. You might not even know that they hating on you. And I had to find that out the hard way. I never hate on anybody. Never. I never. If it's something that you want, I'm gonna ask you how you get it. But if you don't want to tell me there's nothing, I'm not gonna hate on you. I wish you the best. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Everybody entitled to what the fuck they entitled to. And if God want me to have it, He gonna give it to me. But I found the people that I call my best friends, the people that I call my family, the people that I looked up to and loved the most are the ones that shitted on me and hurt my feelings the worst and told me, listen, you're not going to do this, or you can't do that, or why you do this, or you got another baby, why is you doing that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody that prays on your downfall or be the same people that you looking at like, damn, you know, you talk about me and look at you, you know, but you can't let that shit phase you. You just got to keep pushing. And I want to end this video with just saying, you know, listen, that's a little bit about me and just a basis, a little bit. I hope it wasn't too long. I hope you guys like and subscribe and comment. Just let me know how you feel about the video and if you can relate. You guys, I'm going to talk to you guys later. Y'all have a good one.